Welcome back to News Geelong as we move into the world of Geelong sport with our own Mitch Scoop Cleary. AFL and VFL football not far away, Mitch, but also the local cricket finals begin.
Thanks, Rollo. First up tonight, we speak to Geelong VFL skipper Troy Selwood as the Cats look to finalise their top-up list.
We spoke to Matthew Knights a couple of weeks ago from the coaching perspective. How are you seeing it from the players' point of view at this stage, shaping up for another VFL season?
Yeah, it's all looking exciting. We've now been able to finalise our list, so we've got about 20 players that that have gone through the whole pre-season, gone through the tough summer, and the game on the weekend against the Bendigo Bombers really showed that we're sort of starting to gel as a group, which has been positive signs. So looking forward to now integrating our VFL listed boys with the AFL younger players as they come back after NAB Cup.
How many players can we expect to see from the 20 that have been named each weekend, apart from the Geelong players that drop back from the senior list?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Obviously with our senior group, we're probably going to continue with the rotation policy that happened last year. So that's going to expose more of our VFL listed players to playing VFL each week. So I think on average last year we had about 9 to 10 VFL players, and I don't think that's going to change a lot this year.
Jackson Sheringham from the Geelong VFL side last year and Tom Couch, just to name a few, have given hope of maybe an AFL career. Have you seen a few boys capable of that talent training over pre-season?
Yeah, I think we've obviously recruited a couple guys from outside of our VFL list last year that I definitely think have the potential to go on and have either careers in the AFL or even be really solid VFL players. But some of our guys that we've been able to keep on this year from last year, like Jack Shanahan and Tom Mars and those guys, I think are ready to take the next step in their footy as well.
You see a lot of, how do you see the bridge between local footy and GFL, BFL and the local clubs to the VFL at the moment?
Yeah, look, I think the standard of Geelong Football League, which is where most of our boys come from, is at a really high quality. So what we're seeing is when they step up to the VFL level, they're actually ready to go. It was interesting watching the Geelong Football League finals last year, and I found that the guys who spent the year on the list with us last year really stood out, and it showed that the work we'd been doing with them throughout the year was they were able to really develop back in the Geelong Football League and set a new standard. So again, once I said, I hope we sort of continue on with that trend.
And just for yourself personally, you're involved in the senior list and coaching around here. How are you enjoying that and mixing it with playing as well?
Yeah, it's really good. I've really enjoyed my 18 months so far here at the Cats and getting to know the younger guys, and a critical part of that is being able to be out on the ground with them week in, week out and help them on field. So I'm sure that's also going to help Matthew Knights and Scotty help deliver the message when they've got a guy like myself who can help set up how they want to be structurally and also how they need to attack the football so we can get them into the senior lineup as quick as possible.
With Greater Western Sydney joining the Gold Coast Suns as rookie AFL clubs this season, Geelong assistant coach Dale Amos said the Cats will look to manage their players across the whole year rather than individual matches.
Well, I think it's about managing your list throughout the whole season, not necessarily specific games. But there will be opportunities throughout the year where you do get a chance to play some of your younger players, I guess, against potentially younger squads. There's no doubt that that'll happen, and young players, for us, trying to transition a young squad in and get games into young players who deserve it, we definitely need to do that at stages. So at the same time, you love to be able to get those young kids opportunities to play against Collingwood at the MCG and give them exposure to that as well. So it's trying to balance out your needs, I guess, with your list, and also being mindful of the fact that you need to win as many games as you can as well to have a successful season.
Amos looked into the fact whether Tom Hawkins will play with the rest of Geelong's young stars.
I'm not sure on Hawkins. It's really a bit of a plan, I guess, an overall plan with all of those guys, but it's still a little bit week to week. Little niggles pop up and you don't want to carry those into the season. So, we'd be hopeful that he'd be right to go again. And Hawk's still one of our younger players, even though he's a very important player, he's still one of our younger players, a bit like Joel, I guess. So they can probably afford to play a little bit more game time, and their bodies haven't been through the rigours of Matthew Scarlett or someone like that, who needs a little bit more management and is going to be crucial for us later in the year.
He was also pleased with the first-year players such as Jed Buse.
Yeah, we were really pleased. Jed Jed Buse and Hamling and Kirsten Murdoch all got to play and get some exposure at that level, and it was look, we kind of got what we expected. They weren't. I thought Jed was quite good without being outstanding, but it's great for those guys to get some exposure and a chance to play at that level and experience it, and it gives them something to compare themselves to, how they're going. Set new goals potentially, and really strive to be able to get another opportunity to play at that level.
Amos looked ahead to the Richmond clash tomorrow at Simmons Stadium, where he feels most clubs will field a full-strength team in round 3 of the NAB Cup.
I would imagine with most sides that coming to week 3 and week 4 of the NAB Cup that sides will be getting closer to full strength. So it'll be a good test for us. We get an influx of potentially more senior players, and I'd imagine they'll probably do the same. So it'll be a game we're looking forward to. We've played a couple of sides that have been a little bit more man on man, so it'll be nice to play against a side that are certainly more pressing defence. I think like Richmond are playing at the moment. It'll be nice for us to be able to practice against that as well.
Now we preview the Geelong Cricket Association finals for round 1, where St Joseph's take on Grovedale, reigning premiers Geelong West take on Lara, and traditional rivals South Barwon meet East Belmont. In GCA 2, the pick of the matches sees Thompson look to bounce back from their pummelling at the hands of St Albans Breakwater last week. Teesdale take on Lethbridge for the first time since round 1. And in the Ballerine Peninsula Cricket Association, traditional rivals Ocean Grove and Barwon Heads meet for a place in the grand final. That's all for sport tonight. Enjoy your weekend. And now it's back to you, Rollo, and go Cats against Frankston Peninsula in the cricket this weekend.
Thank you, Mitch, and yes, I'll second that motion. Good luck to Geelong against Frankston Peninsula. And now for all the weather expected for Geelong and the Surf Coast over the next 6 days. Tomorrow, Saturday, will be partly cloudy with isolated showers until the evening with a top of 21. Sunday will continue to be partly cloudy with isolated showers on the Surf Coast and a top of 22. Starting off a new week, public holiday on Monday, will be partly cloudy with isolated showers, clearing during the morning with a top of 23. Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a top of a warmer 28, whilst Wednesday we can expect partly cloudy conditions to return with some sunny periods and a top of a warmer 31. While Thursday will be cloudy with isolated showers and thunderstorms developing later in the day with a top of 24. Today we saw cloudy periods at first, with isolated showers and drizzle clearing this afternoon, reaching a top of 22. That's the weather outlook for Geelong and the Surf Coast. Thank you for joining us on News Geelong. To our 2011 Guest Media Technician of the Year, the one and only Laurie Savage. Keep up the dedicated work, Laurie, and remember, take your time and smell the flowers. From all the team at News Geelong, enjoy the rest of the evening, have a safe weekend and a very good night.